Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel. It is me, Candace, the owner of Kandi, and as you can tell, today's video is about makeup brushes one-on-one. So on this channel, I really wanted to be a little bit different on the type of videos that we produce and put out there for you guys. There's a lot of things that come along with makeup, the application, the accessories that go with it, and one of the accessories is makeup brushes. For me, I had to learn about makeup brushes not only when I was going to school for my certificate as a makeup artist, but also when I went to school, when I got my esthetician license, we had to learn about makeup brushes. But they really didn't give like full-on details on makeup brushes alone. They just advise that these are your tools and this is how you use them. And in today's video, that is exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be going in more as far as how to hold different types for each portion of the face. And then on our next videos, we're going to be going on blending one-on-one, how to hold a makeup brush and be more detailed on that end. So if you'd like to hear some information about makeup brushes, then go ahead and stay tuned. For the purpose of today's video, I did clean some makeup brushes that I normally use. I don't always use, but 9 times out of 10, you guys probably have already seen them use them on the Neon Kandi page or by the Beauty by Kandi page. When it comes to makeup brushes, there's a lot to consider when getting your makeup brushes or purchasing a makeup brush, but the right brush makes a complete difference. Finding an actual company that produces really good makeup brushes isn't as hard as you may think. It's just a more of understanding what type of brushes they are providing for you and if that actually matches what your needs are. I didn't really understand makeup brushes until Sigma Beauty reached out to me on my Beauty by Kandi page and really gave me more education when it came to brushes, more education on what things are vegan, if they're really good quality, if it's worth that price point, and what are you getting out of it if you purchase this makeup brush. They really did taught me what the difference between an affordable brush is and what a high-end brush is, and if those two actually do what you're asking, as well as last for a very long time. I do want to advise that I am still, as an individual, not with Neon Kandi, but as an individual, Candace, and a influencer, Beauty by Kandi, I am an affiliate with Sigma Beauty. So I just want to put that out there. You guys are not obligated whatsoever to buy these brushes or anything like that. I'm just showing you what I have and what I use to create looks like this on a daily. I use Sigma brushes and Sigma tools. So let's just go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. So like I stated before, I actually cleaned out some brushes today, and the brush holder that I use to keep all my brushes intact is this brush holder from Sigma Beauty. It is a 3-tier brush holder where they hold more of your face and big brushes down below, whereas the top portion is mostly geared towards eye brushes and things like that. What I also like about this is that when you have big brushes and they are full and you don't want to lose the actual shape of the brush itself, they have the band down here that helps actually A, drain out the water, and then B, also retains the shape of the actual makeup brush as well. What I also love about Sigma Beauty is that not only are they creating brushes and brush holders and accessories to go with your makeup brushes, but they also have created a makeup sponge that actually can erase all of that, which to me really depletes what I'm talking about today. But I really wanted to show you guys this because if you're more comfortable with sponges than makeup brushes, then this is the next best tool in my opinion. Now don't judge me, this thing has been beaten up and I kind of messed it up today with my nails growing a little bit longer than normal. So I'm talking about is called 3D HD sponge, and the reason why it's called this is because each side of the actual makeup sponge caters to a specific area or function that you would be doing for either your eyes or for your face. As you can tell, I love it a lot. But this is normally good for your face, for putting in that highlight. This is really good for blending out your contour, which by the way, you can use cream and powder on these sponges. There's a lot of ways you can use this type of sponge if you're not so comfortable with makeup brushes. So now that that's out of the way, let's actually hop into the actual makeup brushes. So what you would do is you would normally Once it's done drying, just pull it out of the chute and it's still how the brush is intact completely. So the brushes that I normally use on a daily are mostly my Sigma brushes, and I didn't wash them because I put on my makeup today, as you can tell. So those brushes are off to the side. These brushes, however, are like my second if my Sigma brushes are too dirty and I can't use them. So this one is for highlight. This is a nice powder foundation brush. This one right here is great for blushes. This one right here is a nice soft duster brush. And then this one right here is a foundation brush. So let's start off with the first brush, and we're going to start off with foundation. So when it comes to foundation brushes, you need to really look out for two things. You need to make sure that you have a flat width brush and that it's also firm. The reason why I say it needs to be flat and wide is because you want to have enough room to apply your product. The firmness of the brush is what's going to help with a lot of these things. It's going to help with your blending, it's going to help with the spreading, and push the foundation into your skin a lot faster as well. By having a flat, wide brush that's also firm, you're going to be able to blend, spread, and push the product into the skin a lot faster. Another foundation brush that you can have is called a stippling brush. Now these brushes are a little bit smaller and they're definitely not as wide, but they have like kind of spikes on them a little bit, and that's great if you basically want to have a buffing brush. It doesn't give you a matte finish, it gives you more of a dewy finish. The next brush I would like to talk to you about today is the powder brush. For me, I use a Morphe brush, and this brush this is a great brush for finishing, topping off powder, and what you would normally do is get the product that you want, and you want to make sure to dab off the excess, because again, you're just setting your foundation, you're setting whatever cream you may have put on top of your face, and really the job of this is blend everything together, but you don't need to be cakey, you don't need to have any of that extra or make it seem like you have extra powder on your face. Now, because this brush isn't showing its justice, this brush actually is like a light duster. It's very light. The bristles themselves are not compact whatsoever. And it's just good for working in any type of powder that you need to do. When having a small powder brush, you can use that powder brush for the following areas: under your eyes, your nose, and around your chin. By using that around those areas, it gives you actually a little bit more precision on where you're putting the powder. The next brush I would like to talk to you about is for blush. Now for blush, I like to make sure that the dome is actually really small, because that area is right in between your highlight and your contour, and you don't really want your blush to be overpowering. The whole point of blush is to really just brighten up your cheeks just a little bit, give a little bit of color if you need it. What I like to do is make sure that you go to your actual cheeks and you smile. So I tell my clients, you smile, pat it like you put it on there at the area that you need, and then swipe up. And by doing that, it actually blends the two lines together of the contour and the highlight. The other brush I want to say for face is a contour brush. Now, I apologize. This brush was just used to create this face today. But for contour, I just wanted to be a little bit more precise and advise just a little bit of a tip here. For contour, you want to pull the color into your hairline. What I used to tell people is to go like this. And that naturally shows you where your hollows of everything is to provide that contour. But I also used to tell people, like, go to your hairline and then drag it down. So you can either drag it down, you could drag it up. I normally would say drag it down just so that you can see where the products actually be dispensed at. And then blend. And what I like about this brush in particular is because it has like these ridges and the sections of your face really well. It just kind of blends a lot. And the last face brush I want to talk to you today is actually the highlight brush. Now, I have several different highlight brushes. You could have a very long one for your body. You can have one that's smaller than this for a little tiny area. Again, it all just depends on your preference, your face shape, what you're trying to achieve as your makeup look. Again, you want to make sure that the bristles themselves are nice and firm, and I am going to give you an example. So for today's example, we're going to be using the Milani. We're just going to take a little bit at the tip because I really don't want to be really glowy today's look. I really want the focus to be on my glitter. And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to get right here in my highlighted area, and I'm just going to blend in small little circles. And by doing that, I'm honestly just highlighting the area where you would get that natural sunlight. Just a little glow. That's all we want. So the next set of brushes I want to talk to you are specifically for your eyes. Flat brushes just like these. These two are really great for packing on color. Their main intent is to make sure that it gives you a more heavier application and it deposits color onto your eyes. Round brushes are for softening and blending the eyes. These, and there's a whole bunch of different types of round. They could be short and more dense. They could be round and more fluffy. And then they can be more round, skinny, but have at an angle so that it really does get into your crease. There's a lot of different types of blending brushes that you can choose from. The main objective when it comes to round brushes is that they are there to help soften and also blend the eyeshadow together. So like before, it all just depends on what your objective is when it comes to your eye makeup. You can use a more dense brush to pick up pigments. You can use a more dense brush to... So the MAC 224 brush, I've had this for almost 2 years now, and the bristles aren't the best, but this brush in a sense is really good at blending. It does take a while to build up that blending. And then this brush here, this one is from BH Cosmetics, probably one of my favorite blending brushes because this blending brush at a tip, there's a tip at the top. Its goal is to really be precise and to blend at the crease. The next one I have is called a pencil brush. This is E30 from Sigma. And don't mind this, it's supposed to be white, but I actually stained it a couple weeks ago with a different look, and it's now this color. But with this in particular, it's really great for a lot of different reasons. This is really great for smudging if you are looking for a more smoky eye or you just want to smudge out a line. This is really great because it has that, again, dome kind of brush, but then it's at an angle, so you know that it's good for precision, especially at the tip of this makeup brush. Really good for blending, getting at the crease, and really getting in that precision. You could also use this to really apply as a pencil on your eye. Smudge brush, a very good multi-use brush, really. You could really use this for anything. I don't really know what it is for because it wasn't told to me when I received it in the mail, but I've been using it for two different ways. So the first brush is I'm talking about that. This one is from Ibby. I've only used this for shimmers or pressed glitters and stuff like that, and it's worked fantastic. It's really good if you wet it, like if you spray your little setting spray and then, you know, use it to wet to get your pigment a little bit more wet, to get that foil look. You could use this for it as well. And the last brush we're going to talk about today, this one is a concealer brush. This one is from BH Cosmetics and it looks like it's number 4. Again, this is a flat concealer brush. It is rounded at the top. So you know that this is going to give you a more heavier application and dispersed product. Again, any cream product, and it's really great. The only sucky part I will say about it is that it is losing its shape, but the objective of having something flat and to disperse product is really great. So that about sums it up when it comes to different makeup brushes for both your face and for your eyes. I didn't go in really a lot of detail on different types of brushes because there are a million different types of brushes out there that are catered to specific things, and they say that on their handle. I do want to advise though, for all Sigma brushes, you do get a 2-year warranty with them. They really do take pride on their type of makeup brushes that they produce. As far as holding the makeup brush and how to blend and things like that, that's going to be in one of our next videos where I'm going to be a little bit more getting in more a little bit closer, and so that you can see for yourself how to hold it, the type of pressure to apply to it. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this a good thumbs up. It will help me to produce more things like this, and to also just to know that you guys are learning something, because that is the whole basis of my whole channel as well as this video today. If you haven't already, I would love for you to be part of our Neon Kandi fam. It doesn't have to be here on YouTube, but it could definitely be on our other social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram. And so thank you so much again for watching. Again, I appreciate your support, and I will catch you guys at the next video. Peace.